Yo, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's going on? And on to the break it down. How you doing?
It's Friday. We haven't recorded in a minute, man.
I know. Hey, we've been on the road doing things, traveling together, apart. You know what I mean? So it's been a good one though, man. It's been a good one.
April came and went, and now we're in May, and May is doing the exact same thing April did, man. So but we can sit up here and talk to y'all about how busy we've been, but that's not what the podcast is about. The podcast is about giving people a platform. It's about helping people with positivity and all that good stuff. So we have a special guest on today's podcast, but before we bring him on, I know my dad's hyped for this. He's hyped for this. But we're gonna roll the intro first. We gotta roll.
You gotta roll the intro, and then we got another. Yeah. This thing. Oh yeah, there it is. One more again.
We always say this, but we might have to redo one, man. We might have to make the
I kind of like that one. But anyway, yeah. So, hey, like Z said, we have a guest today. We're excited about bringing this individual on. I ran into him about a month and a half ago. And I was like, Z, man, we gotta get him on the podcast, man. He got a little story behind, all that he's doing, the positivity and whatnot. So I got a chance to hear this cat on the MIC and whatnot. And so, we're excited. Well, I'm excited. I don't know, see if you got it.
I'm there. What are you talking about, man? Come on. This is the homie. This is the way back. Come on now.
Okay. Well, hey, man, why don't you go ahead and bring him on in, give him the intro and all that good shit.
Yeah, man. So I you know what? I want people to listen to music, and then we'll bring them in. Then we'll bring them in the background. Right, cool with you?
You do you.
All right, cool. Here, yo. By the way, he goes by the name of SELYM, but that's not how I was introduced to him first and foremost. But he goes by the name of SELYM. This is his one of his newest tracks that he dropped called "Ain't Going Back," and I want to play it real quick for the audience so they know what kind of energy we coming in with, all right? Because we ain't going back, man. We ain't going back.
We ain't going back. No, sir.
Yeah. Breaks. I ain't going back, no. I ain't going back, no. If that fucking hold me, let me go. I ain't going back, no. I ain't going back, no. I ain't going back, no. If that fucking hold me,
I need the funk flex bombs. Boom, 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 boom.
I ain't going back, no. The devil cannot hold me, man. I used to be so fucking cold. The way that I was going, man.
I did, man. Everybody walking to the stage. SELYM.
Yes, sir. My man is here. Yes, in living color.
Blessed, man. It's a pleasure. I'm really happy to be here, man. I really appreciate y'all for having me, like I said.
Oh, that's cool,
bro.
man.
Of course.
Yeah, so hey man, it was a pleasure seeing you because I haven't seen you in many a year from the court. And I'm sure Z gonna talk a little bit about that, man. But I gotta say, as far as the music, this is no shade to anybody else that was, performing that day because they were all putting out positivity and doing the dang thing. But man, when you came on, I was sweating. I was sweating because, man, the beats were hitting, the lyrics were on point. So yeah, man, tell us a little bit about that, and then we can rewind. But it's the music thing, man. Holla at us.
So I want to say I give honor to God. He blessed me with the opportunity, so it wouldn't be doing it without him. I would say pretty much growing up, starting the music, I would say just starting the music, not going back yet, but starting the music. I was in college, I didn't start recording to my senior year of college. So I went through a little heartbreak or whatever, and I was just like by myself and going on. And I was sitting, and I remember a friend I met. His name's Brick, my boy Brick Lantis. He's my engineer. He did like my first 5 cover arts as well. He's an artist as well. He's amazing. Shout out to my boy. He me a while ago back where I was at Langston. I went to Langston University, and he was like, "Hey, yeah, bro, I'm an engineer." But I didn't text him or anything about recording or nothing until 2 years later when I'm my senior year. So I ended up hitting him up, recorded the song. I didn't think of not releasing it or anything. Can I Tell You? That was my first single. And one of my friends was walking the hallway during the apartments, and he's like, "Yo, who's that, man? Who's that? Who?" I was like, "It's me." He's like, "Bro, you need to drop this, bro." And I was like, I was like, "Nah, I'm just recording it." And then Atlantis just was like, "Bro, you need to drop this, bro. You need to drop this." So I ended up getting a cover art. We went out, dropped the song. Long story short, we went viral around my school. Everyone started listening to it. Ended up performing the song at the Spring Fest, and then I wrote "I Gotta Get It," and the rest is history. And I just started going from there.
Oh man, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So you mentioned the school you went to. Say that again.
Langston University.
Langston, where's that located?
That is it's an HBCU in Oklahoma. Yes, sir.
Oklahoma. Okay, that's different. That's different.
Ooh, okay, they got the Arizona boy out of Oklahoma.
Yes, sir. And it's crazy because once we get as like going into my story, I get more in depth in it. Like I actually went to junior college first in Phoenix, and Phoenix College. I went there for 2 years, and my whole experience, as far as it was a breakdown season for me. Like I was just, as far as just being emotionally manipulated to where I was in depression. I had things happen to me where things were getting stolen from me. I had people call me brother, do all kinds of things to me. And then off and on the court is just support, and everything was it was all just to where everything now, as far as me being SELYM, has a story as far as in a song, an experience that I've been through. And it's really God blessing me through as far as what I've been through and what I've done, as far as sticking to what I needed to do and fulfilling a promise, especially to my mom and graduating college as well. So my whole thing with, doing music, at first, it wasn't even my intention. It wasn't like, I tell people this is my calling. I really say God put me in my position to do this, because I was at first striving in other aspects and areas as far as in education and everything. So, and athletics as well. So I was doing all that. And as far as this, I was doing everything pretty much to make everybody else happy. But I will say this, I've had this in the back of my head since I was a kid. I said, God gonna give me time to be an artist. I've always wanted to be like a Christian rapper. I was like, bro,
dang, that's what's up.
I knew Lecrae since I was 4 years old. So
I think the thing that's interesting, right? And you just kind of brought it out, which is, this is Christian rap. So this is about giving honor and glory to God and whatnot. And so, but let's rewind real quick. So when I last saw you was back in the day with the Spartans and whatnot, playing ball with Z. So how did you and Z meet? And how did that go? And then we can catch up to the Langston part.
Yes, sir. So I remember Z, like it was, man, we go way back. He had this flat top.
Hey, yo, chill. All that.
Hey, this Z now, y'all see, man. Hey, man, he's totally different. Like he was still a great kid back then, but he looks so different now. So it was so crazy. But like, yeah, his goggles, and we used to call you Lil Barkley. I remember all that stuff, man. I just, man, and as far as always your energy, bro. Like I remember when I think I was in the 6th grade, and we were playing in El Paso, I think. And that was when I was like my first tournament with the Spartans. And I remember, bro, just playing with you, like your energy all the time, like you were always on fire, like you were always like, bro, I was like, dang, I love Zion. Like always hustling, always, so I just remember just playing with you because we didn't have a team for my age, so I played up. So I played with y'all for a minute. So we go way. We played in every gym in Tucson together. We played in Phoenix together, California together.
Yeah, man.
That's
Nah,
taking it back.
that's so good. And you know what? Like Miles is giving me these praises, bro. But I was not as athletically gifted as this dude's being humble about right now. Miles is, man, dude. So they call me Lil Barkley. If I was Lil Barkley, everybody called Miles Lil Westbrook. He was like Russell Westbrook on that court, man. You talking about energy? I was the emotional energy. I was like the guy that was like, we gotta get locked in, like the Tyson Chandler, like Charles Barkley, stuff like that. But Miles was athletic and boy, he was bouncy as I don't know what. Like at
I remember that.
6th or 5th grade, like he's touching rim, and I'm over here like
Put out here in the box.
right? Yeah, I was like, who jumping with this guy? I ain't gonna jump with him. Nah, man, I'm good. But man, if you were to tell me in 5th grade, well, first of all, his athletic ability was, I mean, he could keep up with us even though he's playing, he could have played 2 years above us. Like he was that gifted. It was, he was really, really good, man. I thought, if you were to tell me that Miles would be the artist he is today, I'd be like, nah, man, he's going to be an NBA. Like, what are you talking about? Ain't no way he's going to put down the ball and not lace up the shoes no more. Like, he's going to NBA. But to see you pivot in the music, and like you said, it wasn't something that you thought about in the background. Like, it sounded like you had that in the background. But to make that adjustment from hooper into artist, I mean, I feel like you've always been an artist, right? When somebody says that they haven't been an artist, I feel like that's lying. They always had, they stumbled upon it, but they also were doing some things to cultivate that artistry. What was that like for you to tell? I know your pops probably saying the same thing. That I thought he was going to go NBA. I thought he was going to go overseas. What was that like when you told him that, Pop, like, I want to take this music thing seriously? What was that like?
Honestly, it was pretty much like how I introduced it to them. I would say my parents I would start off by saying my parents are fine with what I was doing because one, I'm giving glory to God. Like when it's giving him the glory, doing everything for him, there ain't nothing better they could ask for. But as far as it goes, they were okay with it because necessarily I was going to college and I was just like, working hard still to where my mom always said, you can do whatever you want as long as you go to school and get your degree. So when I kind of introduced it to them, it kind of threw them off though, like everybody, because as far as it goes, growing up, it wasn't encouraged for me to do music because I was, always the athlete or Miles, you do other things, So when I was like jokingly, even I was like, oh, I'm gonna do music, people were like, no, like, dribble a ball, like it wasn't, and it's just especially just around the areas I was in growing up and the environments. That's not something that you necessarily talk about, like, oh, you should be a Christian rapper. Like no one encourages that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it threw them off, like, because when I've always been known for the athletics and civics and education, everything else. But then when I threw everybody this curveball, because I didn't even go around Langston or anywhere like, oh, I sang in the church since I was 4. I didn't do I've done music as far as playing instruments, and my whole life just been involved in music in my family as far as in the church. But I never really spoke about it. So when I released the song, it threw them off. They're like, whoa, like, so they were kind of shocked. And then I started to step into it more as far as now I'm stepping into the reels. And then they seen that I'm like, because nobody's going to really take you serious when you're really starting off. It's just like, oh, it's some fun. You're cool. You're good. But like when I started to actually step into it and they're starting to see like results, the consistency and things like that, they riding with it and they love it. And my mom, especially, I could say my mom really loves it too. So.
Yeah, your mom was right there in the front of the crowd getting lit, boy. She was in there like, come on, baby.
I knew he was gonna say that.
Yep. So I got a question, man. So you're talking about a little bit earlier, you kind of gave us a little teaser. But one of the things that we talk about here is tough conversations for stronger connections. And we talk about sometimes substance misuse, but we talk about mental health. We talk about young people coming up and challenges that they may go through in life. And You were, gave us a little teaser that there were some challenges that happened at Langston, and then it sounds like you were touched by the Spirit, and it just came up within you. So what was it? If you don't mind sharing a little bit about your story, or what man, had you like just do a 180, like hold up, I gotta look at this differently.
Yes, sir. I would say it really was a time where I was experiencing, I would say, heartbreak. And I would say people undermined, and as far as heartbreak goes, that's certain things I feel like people experience a lot more than we actually talk about. So because you experience heartbreaks with relationships, with families, with everything that's just being done to you, because the heart is it's very important. That's why I necessarily take this very serious, because it's about healing. So as my process in doing the songs, necessarily, I was going through heartbreak with a relationship that I was facing at Langston. That was kind of like the whole thing, on top of family issues, on top of everything. So that was just like the cherry on top, to where I had the breakdown, and I actually just was praying to God. I was like, what do I do and everything? And he just put into my mind, let me go write a song or something, to where that's the whole point in the message. As far as the first song I would say, Can I Tell You, is it's important as far as in relationship, as far as anything, to be heard, to get out what you need to say. That's why I called it Can I Tell You, because I was expressing them feelings that I didn't get to necessarily get out, because there would be times if I do that, it was thrown back at me, or if I was trying to, it was, no, there's a lot of things tied into it, as far as just, I was really heartbroken, to where it was healing, getting my feelings out, emotions in a positive manner, telling a story, to where it even dials into Stuck in My Head. Those are like the two, I would say, songs I was labeled as far as healing in the process of the songs, because even in Stuck in My Head talks about heartbreak, as far as letting go, reminiscing about the memories, the positive memories, but you have to accept, which will help you grow. As far as in other relationships, accept what is going on, let them go, but wish nothing but the best on that person, to where it's all about healing. So it was definitely started where I was at my lowest. I was really low, because I was, as far as a junior college, and on top of that and everything, that was just my source. God literally said, look, Miles, boom, this is what I'm going to do for you. And then I wrote the song, and it was just from that point on, as far as always wanting to do that for the heart, as far as heal it and spread that positivity and love and encouragement that we need, I really wanted to take it serious. So I found it as a way, this is a way I could really connect with people. This is a way I can get a message out. And as far as what it's doing for me, I feel like it could do for others. So
That's what's up.
That's so good. As you were talking, one of the things that came to my mind was how many young athletes think that their sport has to be their coping skill, and they don't think about anything else besides, like, for us, we're hoopers, right? Like, if I'm stressed out, let me just go shoot hoops. Like, but to a point, it gets to, like, I never got blessed to the level that you were at, right? Where you got to play the college ball, right? But sometimes what I've heard from athletes that had that opportunity was, when your sport starts to become your stress, you don't go to that stressor to relieve stress anymore. You try to find something else. And what I see a lot of young athletes do is they pivot to, unlike you, pivot to drugs and alcohol, or they pivot to attention from women, right? And getting that attention and validation there. But you decided to make that decision. I know the answer, but I want you to explain it a little bit more. Why did you confide in music and find that as your outlet?
I would say it's always been a passion for me. I've always really loved music, as far as to gospel, to all genres, where I've grown up around. Like my great grandmother played the drums. Her daughters can sing. My whole family plays the drums. My brothers are very musically talented. I've grown up around music, and I've always loved it, to where I would say I really feel like, and well, honestly, I believe and I know that it was what I was called to do. It was just a matter of time, where I feel like taking what it was to actually do with it, it was a matter of time, I should say. Like, it was destined. I really feel like because how it just came upon like me, like it just started to happen because everything started to happen so quickly. And I was just like, as far as just feeling like I was where I needed to be, like I after that first song and just doing it, as far as the love I have for it, I just was like, this is something I really love to do, you know? And I really feel like a lot of the times, in especially society, people are scared to do what they really love to do because of the judgment of others. So when it comes down to it, like me doing what I love and like knowing how much love I had for music, because even as a kid, like a little side fun fact, I would always listen to music and I'll be looking in the window and I'll be imagining like I'm the artist in the video, or I'm like, ooh, you know, like I've always just loved like music and Lecrae and just like, oh, this is so cool. Like I could praise God like this. This is dope. But you know, it wasn't pushed. But and just other things as far as just, you know, I've done in the church. I've served in the church my whole life. I've ushered, I've praised, danced, I've done everything, played instruments, sang in the choir. I've cleaned up the church at 4 a.m. to where I believe God's really rewarding me now to where here you can give praise to me in this way now. So it was really, like I said, it just what I love to do, and God knew to where I just stayed humble, stayed hungry unto Him, and He blessed me with this opportunity. So,
You know, one of the things that you had mentioned at the show when I came through, and you said it on the mic, is that you understood that you know, sometimes you can get so down that one may want to, you know, not be around anymore, take their life, and you know, suicide. And so you had a little bit of a story about that. So was that related to the breakup and how it got so down? On in your spirit, in your heart, that like, man, I don't even want to deal with this. Can you speak to a little bit on kind of how low did you go?
yes, sir, I definitely can. And I can say I really still thank God to this day because, like I said, mental and the heart, like those are the two things we're focusing on. Because mentally, as far as you thinking that you're not even enough anymore in this world, is just it's important that I protect the crown. So, and in the heart, as far as just alone, knowing how much it's just so going into it, I would say it definitely was a lot of things I was dealing with my family and my relationship, to where my relationship was so toxic. It was very toxic to where I had abandonment issues, to where I would feel abandoned a lot of times, to where I always felt like I had to keep people in my life and things of that nature, to where I would do things to where just to keep people in my life, knowing it wasn't what I wanted to do, knowing to where it was just, and people would take advantage of that as far as in my relationships and just family members and things like that. So I was just so low to where I was like, you know what? It was like I said, it was a point where I revealed too early to my past that necessarily about my family, things like that. And it was used against me to where, oh, you would threaten to leave me. And I would like, no, 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 no. And to where I didn't want, I was just I always felt like people would leave me. Mm-hmm. So as far as just like that goes with the relationship, it was a point where I was driven really to where I didn't even feel like I was good enough anymore for anybody. Mm-hmm. So as far as just not even really knowing myself, because that was one thing I was really facing as far as my identity, to where it was so long, even when I was in junior college, I didn't even really know who I was, because I was, like I said, people pleasing, doing all types of things just to get that acceptance, instead of just looking for an understanding that the only person I need to please is God. Mm-hmm. So, you know, going on, it just, like I said, I didn't feel like I was good enough for anybody. I felt like at that point I couldn't do nothing for nobody. So I did necessarily attempt, and everything as far as it goes, praise be to God, man. You know, I'm still here to this day. And it's not even, I would say, it's not even just one time occurred to where I've even thought or even tried, to where it was even in the past when I was young, like with families and things like that. So as far as it goes, this is why I really push my message. This is why I really take it to where I'm starting to even realize this is more than just music. This is straight ministry. And these are souls that I'm going to be trying to save and bring to Christ. So yes, it definitely was a hard time, but I can say it was the best thing that probably could have happened to me, to where I can know my story. I know it could save somebody else, to where I know that I'm stronger, to where I've just grown, and I'm just glad where I'm at now, and I'm grateful. So,
and it sounds like, man, unpacking that a little bit, that like, one, I want to give you kudos and praise and love, man, to say that, to be a young man, and be willing to share your story, right? Because we as men are a lot of times taught not to show our emotions. And I don't know if that was part of the challenge. It sounds like you were sharing a lot, but then people would abuse that or take advantage of that. But also just being now willing to be truthful, right, about that. And so I want to give you kudos for that, man. But the other thing that I realized that you said that I think is really important is finding out who you are, understanding who you are. And that's a process and some time. And would it be true that, were you always writing poetry, or was it not until maybe after that experience of, suicide, that you're like, I got to get this out of me? Because you're like saying, I think that you said one of the songs was in my head. Right. So is that what helped you? Is that what helped you, writing stuff down?
Oh, yes, sir. As far as like even getting, because can I tell you, I can't even remember like actually, because I freestyled like the verse a little bit, because it was really just my emotions. Like I was just like, you know what, roll it, let's get it. And as writing, I had some stuff written down for that one, but like definitely majority of my songs, I can even show you on my notes. I do have everything written down. So I would say it's like putting my thoughts out, feelings out, story, even to where songs that I've written, it's so crazy. Like it's like God writ it for me to use it now in certain scenarios, to where it's like, I'm like, bro, now this song is coming to life, which is, this one is kind of crazy. Like at the time I thought maybe it was for it, but I'm like, now this is the message he wants me to have now, because I'm going through this now, which is because I have even a lot more songs that, as far as my project, I ain't gonna tell when that's gonna come. When that comes out, it's gonna even be more vulnerability. It's gonna be everything, as far as just emotions and stories and everything, as far as, like I said, relationships, friendships, families. So
that sounds similar to just what I use to cope, but you do it on a grander scale of you put it out there for people to hear and see, which is a different level of vulnerability, man. I'm a huge advocate of journaling. I love journaling. There's this app that it's called Brighton that I use. We're, in all transparency, we are sponsored, partnered with this app and whatnot. But it's a great app, is what I use to write down my thoughts. And then we also have the broadcast channel where I shared the summary. It's an AI, and it summarizes my notes or my journal, so I can share it with other people. So I share it in that broadcast channel. But you do it on a level where people have the choice to join that channel, versus people can kind of like just listen to it and whenever they want, right? And that's a different level of vulnerability that I'm not there yet. I don't think I have the music capability that you got to do that, or been blessed with that. But man, I just admire anybody that's willing to share their story. Like my dad was saying, man, like especially a black young man being willing and able to talk about his experience with mental health, and how, working in, or even finding God in it. And even though it was ugly and it was nasty, you were still able to find that silver lining, which was the Holy Spirit or God, whatever that was for you, to get you out of that. And then you praise him using this medium of art, man. It's something that's just super commendable. It's awesome to see. And you have a good time on stage doing it. And when I tell you something, man, I thought about it when I was on stage, because he invited me to be the host of his show. I was like, man, I could see myself DJing one of these things for him, and being the hype man in the back. He got me hype. And he has the dreads that go crazy when he ain't going back, man. He was going crazy for that one. So if you ever see something that pops up on your Instagram about go see SELYM, go see him. He's an amazing artist. He'll put on a show for you. And it's weird because I see your eyes tell me everything when, especially when we're on the court. It's the same feeling I get when you step on stage. It's that same Miles look of like, oh, we're locked in, we're gonna have a good time, but it's a different kind of lock. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. If you're an athlete and you still have that capability, you know what I'm talking about. When your friend gets that look and they're able to turn it on, it's something. It's on 10 for you, man. So I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud of all the things that you're doing. I'm glad that you reached out to me to even be considered to be one of your hosts. You're a great friend, a great guy. Man, I can't wait for people to experience you. Once they experience you and hear this podcast, they're gonna be like, I gotta follow this kid. I gotta follow this guy and see what he's got going on.
So that's a question that I have, man. So I mean, so where can people find you and tap in?
They could find me on all platforms. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everything. Apple Music, Spotify. All you gotta do is type in my name in all caps, SELYM, SELYM, and it's just a little sidetrack, little story. Like the name SELYM, it's crazy because I went to Langston. When I went and traveled, I just packed my bags and left. Didn't have no scholarships or nothing. My cousin just told me to go. Boom, boom, boom. She's like, we're gonna rebrand you. We're just gonna make your Instagram name your name backwards. And we didn't know nothing, right? 2 years later, I was like, what's the artist name? I looked up my Instagram name that I made it 2 years ago. Ended up being SELYM, being God-fearing, pious, peace, a lot of things. And I was like, oh, well, this is it right here. So typed in SELYM, all platforms, anywhere.
No, that's what's up. No, that's good because I was asking Zion and Valentina, my daughter, when we were at the concert. I was like, what's that mean? Like, I mean, where'd they come up with that? And then they're like, it's his name backwards. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But then when I told Miles, I asked Miles, like, how do you pronounce it? He was like, it's like salam, like walaikum salam, walaikum salam, like peace be on you. So I was like, that's dope.
Yes,
that is dope, man. That's so cool. So you're saying that, like, wait. So you're saying you had the handle at SELYM years before you even started the music?
Mm-hmm.
So,
2 years.
Oh man. So there was already some stuff in the works, just waiting for you.
I didn't even know. 2 years later.
That's what's up, man. That's so cool. So yeah, any final words that you have, man, that you really wanted to like share with people and let them know, outside of definitely tapping into your channels and all that good stuff and hearing your music?
Yes, sir. I will say one quote is be the light. That's mine. That's one thing I live by. Be the light. Let your light so shine before men that they see you do good works, which glorify your Father, which is in heaven. I believe everybody has a calling. I believe everyone is a light. Let that light so shine, man.
Yo, man, we're glad you're still around, man, to be able to bless us with your music, and then give praise and glory to the person upstairs, who we believe in. So yeah, because you ain't going back. You ain't going back.
And we're gonna get up out of here. But before we get up out of here, man, we gotta make sure we give you our Instagram. Our Instagram is at UpToItAZ. You're now listening to Up to It Radio. And we gonna catch you back over here next week. Come on, we appreciate you, man. We out.
We out.
I tell you right now, man, I think